Hello, my fellow welt lovers. Okay, real talk. What the hell is happening with this 3.6 drip marketing delay? Like, I woke up expecting to see my social feed blown up with glorious splash art, lore crumbs, and maybe some eyeball-melting design work from the new 3.6 characters, and what do I get? Radio. Freaking. Silence. Bro, it was supposed to be tomorrow. It's like we were all lined up for the hype train and they just decided, nah, let's park it in the garage for another few days. Topping up in Genshin or Star Rail can get expensive, and let's be honest, we've all seen those in-game prices and wished they were just a bit lower. Well, that's exactly what LD Shop is here for. This is LD Shop, the official top-up platform developed by the LD Player Emulator Group. It lets you top up your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Star Rail at huge discounts, up to 23% off or more. And yeah, it's super easy to use. All you need is your server and UID, and your top-up will show up in-game within just a few minutes. It's safe, reliable, and used by thousands of players. You can even compare prices, for example, something like the Supply Pass or a 6480 Stellar Jade Bundle. It's way cheaper here than in-game. If you register using my link, you'll get a 15% off coupon and an extra 5% off coupon, which can save you up to $50 on your first top-ups. Plus, LD Shop gives you the same first top-up bonus you get in-game, so you're not missing out on anything. And if you're planning to spend more, here's a bonus. If you spend over $80, you'll unlock VIP status, which gives you a free supply pass and more perks. So if you're looking to save while still getting everything you normally would in-game, just use the link in the description and get Phanon, or the Fate collab characters while saving more. The announcement for the live stream came out, sure, but the juicy character reveals are now set for August 3rd and 4th, which is after the stream announcement itself. That's not how this usually goes down. Normally, they give us the drip before the live stream so we can get hype, throw around speculation, cry about our wallets, and scream about character kits in advance. But now, they're saving it for post-live stream, or maybe even during it. And that's suspiciously spoiler-y behavior. Like, what are they hiding that's so spoiler-heavy they can't even tease us like they usually do? I mean, they didn't hold back with Firefly's whole identity reveal. Girl was literally in the grave, and they still gave us her drip like, yep, she's fine. They didn't hesitate with Dan Hung Il either, and don't even get me started on the Shifu March 7th debacle, where they basically rolled out the spoiler carpet in high definition. So if they're choosing now, of all times, to pull the brakes on drip marketing, then these 3.6 characters must be bringing something insane to the table. And honestly, my bet? The splash arts are probably going to be straight-up spoiler bombs. Like, not just, oh hey look at this cool new unit, but more like, hey here's a reveal that's going to redefine the entire state of the game and maybe your emotional well-being. You know the kind I mean, the ones where you're like, excuse me, that's who? Like, I'm talking art that makes you audibly gasp, stare at your screen for 5 minutes, and then immediately scream in Discord. That level. And I swear, the more we talk about this delay, the more I'm convinced they're going to do something wild on that live stream. Like, not just show off the characters, but actually drop a surprise. Possibly the long-rumored free Terravox. Yes, that's Dan Hung's Special Preservation Edition, if you've been out of the loop for a sec. There's been back and forth about when he's showing up, first 3.4, then moved to 3.7, and now suddenly bumped up to 3.6. And with a movement like that, yeah, that screams freebie bait to me. Not to mention, leakers have been tossing around the idea that he's going to be our next free unit, possibly to celebrate something big like an anniversary moment or player milestone. And, oh boy, if they reveal that on stream, expect chat to go nuclear. And while we're at it, let's not ignore the spicy crumbs dropping about Evernight and her Memosprite. Because hello? Apparently, she has 2 model variations depending on whether it's enhanced or not. Not just a skill animation difference, not just a stat buff or visual filter. No. A literal different model. Which, for a Memosprite? That's a big deal. That means there's some kind of transformation gimmick going on, maybe even mid-battle style changes, which I am 1000% here for. And y'all remember that leaker HumDG cat, right? Yeah, they dropped that Evernight has the ability to enhance her Memosprite. So, if that ends up being a gameplay mechanic where her sprite evolves visually and mechanically in real time, chef's kiss I'm gonna send. It's also kind of funny because we all kind of knew she would enhance her sprite, like lore-wise it's not shocking, but now that we know her actual model changes when it's enhanced, oh, it hits way harder. Imagine pulling her, going into battle, and then boom, suddenly your cute sprite turns into some Eldritch Ice Remembrance mega being and wipes the field clean. Just imagining it makes me want to throw my relics at her already, And we haven't even seen the full drip. Speaking of relics, yes, we're getting new ones. 3.6 is going to bring in a whole new relic set rotation. Don't ask me what the set bonuses are yet. Obviously, they haven't dropped, but if history's anything to go by, this will be tailored to buff the new units. Expect something disgusting for Ice Remembrance builds because of Evernight and a preservation-flavored set to pair with our boy Terravox. If you're a relic hoarder, keep your fuels ready now because you'll want to be ready to go day one of the patch. Also, new pet incoming. What it does, where we get it, or if it's just there to be aggressively adorable. No clue. But it's happening, and we're putting it on our shoulder whether it likes it or not. Now, let's get real for a second. If Terravox is a free unit, that's kind of huge. Not just because he's preservation and physical, rare combo, but because he's Dan Heng's alternate form, and they do not just give those out like candy. It'd be the first time they've given us a 5-star preservation unit for free since, well, never. And his design? It should align with that whole high concept, Guardian of Balance vibe. If he's free, that's going to shift a lot of meta teams around. Suddenly, monophysical teams won't feel like a meme. Suddenly, Trailblazer physical preservation isn't your only defensive backbone. Suddenly, you have the chance to build a tanky stall comp that's actually stylish. He's basically Xingqiu if he ate an entire encyclopedia on defensive playstyles and then became Ascended. Oh, and don't forget, 3.5 is also going to be our first real introduction to Evernight in-game. So even though she's getting her drip in 3.6, we're likely going to see her appear story-wise or even boss-wise in 3.5, which would explain the delay too. They don't want to spoil the moment you first encounter her by preemptively showing off her 6 splash art. So, yeah, they're being cautious. Too cautious, maybe, but I get it. Still, you know the community is going to data mine that stuff into oblivion the second it drops. So really, the delay only slows the inevitable. So, while we're sitting here chewing on these delicious crumbs like dehydrated trailblazers, let's recap what we've got. Drip delay confirmed to August 3 RD/4TH, which is after the live stream announcement, hinting at a potential spoiler-sensitive reveal. Likely candidates are Evernight, who's going to be an Ice Remembrance with an enhanced Memosprite form, and Terravox or Danheng SP, physical preservation. Very likely to be free. Also, we are getting new relics, new pet, possibly a full meta shift depending on what the kits and bonuses are, and we're all just collectively losing our minds waiting to see the art, the models, and the kits. There's something extra chaotic about knowing the content is done, and just sitting on a server somewhere while we're out here pretending we're okay. Anyway, I'll be waking up at a horrific hour on August 3rd like the deranged fan I am to see if this delayed drip marketing was worth the emotional damage. If it is, oh, we're eating good, boys. If it isn't, well, I'll just go back to staring at old character splash art and whispering soon to myself like a cryptid in the corner. Until then, drop your guesses below on who you think is dropping in 3.6 and whether or not you think they're holding back because of major story reveals, or if Hoyo's just playing 5D chess to mess with us. Either way, hype intensifies.